And now we have the latest out of Ukraine, where Russian tanks advanced on... Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. This just in. Mitt Romney grew a pair. Oh my gosh, this is a huge breaking story. Let's go immediately to the videotape.
Anyone in this category, but are you aware of any one of the elected officials we have in the federal government, at the Congress, or anywhere else, that have proposed cutting or have currently proposed cutting benefits for Social Security of any kind?
Senator, I have heard of proposals.
No. You've heard of proposals from a current senator, currently or congressman, currently proposing to cut benefits to Social Security.
Yes. Have they changed their position?
No,
Maybe.
no.
But yes. Members who are current members.
I said, has anyone in the last several months or the last year, has anyone, Republican or Democrat, proposed Social Security benefits?
So now you're asking if people change their position? Maybe.
All right. So that's
record.
Shalanda Young. She is the Director of Office of Management and Budget for President Biden, which, by the way, Director of OMB, probably one of the most powerful positions in any administration. A lot of people don't know that, but it's true. An incredibly important role, and under, of course, Senate scrutiny. Now, Mitt Romney, it's true, as my breaking report just indicated, has in fact grown a pair, at least for these few minutes of this hearing that we're just witnessing. They're growing, I promise you, it's coming. They're emerging. You can kind of see them. The question on the table, which should have been better articulated by our fine senator from Utah, is this. Excuse me, the president keeps saying that Republicans want to cut Social Security benefits. Name me the senator or congressman who's proposed that. Give me a name. One name. That's how Mitt Romney should have done it. He's stammering along, but you know, we've grown accustomed to that with Mitt Romney. But I'll explain why this example of Mitt growing the aforementioned pair is incredibly important. Let's watch more.
There is a record.
Are you aware of anyone, excuse me, are you aware of anyone? Are you aware of anyone proposing cutting Social Security benefits?
Your first question, current members have well-known policies out there to cut Social Security and Medicare.
That's simply wrong. That is simply wrong. And it's not honest to say that to members of Congress.
Yeah,
that is
simply wrong. It's not honest to say that to members of Congress. You're lying! You're lying. Okay, sure, he hasn't grown the pair that we want him to grow. He's grown Romney pair. But it's still something. I mean, we got to hand it to Mitt. Once, it continues. Watch.
Wrong. There is no one who's recommending cutting Social Security benefits. All right, number one. Number two, do you recognize that in the next 10 years or so, the trust fund on Social Security is going to run out, and under the law, benefits would be cut dramatically, like 25%. You're aware of that?
I'm aware.
All right, so now this is critically important, the point he's making here, because it's not discussed very often, and that's why I want to give a hat tip to Mitt Romney, because by law, by federal law, right now, if the Social Security Trust Fund starts to run out or is deflated in such a way that there isn't enough in it to pay the benefits that it's already obligated, then there's a trigger effect. And what happens is everybody's benefits gets reduced, cut up to 25%, depending on the trajectory of the trust fund compared to the obligations that are put out there. In other words, if nobody does anything, Social Security will be cut automatically. It's just going to happen. It's a numbers game. It's a formula, and it is federal law right now. It was voted into effect by previous Congresses and signed into law by the presidents. That's how we get laws in this country. So as Joe Biden and the Democrats, and this woman, the director of OMB, is pointing the finger and accusing Republicans of wanting to cut Social Security, Mitt Romney is on the verge of making an incredibly important point about Biden's hypocrisy. Biden, by not doing anything about Social Security, is in fact cutting Social Security all by his own, because he's doing nothing. And they're aware of it. She's just admitted, yes, I'm aware that if we do nothing to shore up the Social Security Trust Fund, Social Security benefits will be cut. So in other words, she's saying, yeah, we're not doing anything about it, therefore Social Security will be cut. Who's cutting it? Joe Biden, by not doing anything. Watch what happens.
Yeah, that's a problem, right?
Of course.
Well, why is it then that in the president's budget there's no effort to address that whatsoever?
And while we clearly disagree on this, there are some who have policies on websites. I'm happy to print them and send them to the committee. Whether they have changed their position is another thing. who want to cut have policies.
I'm sorry,
enhanced
that was
Social
not the
Security.
question. The question was.
So this president.
I'm sorry, you got to answer the questions.
So
as opposed
this
to change the
president
topic.
has put forth
I asked
a
the
budget on
question: Why
Social
did the
Security
president?
that
Why
would
does the
protect
president's
Social Security
budget
from
not
being cut?
lay out how you would
This
protect Social
president
Security?
believes the existential threat to Social Security are those who want to cut it. His budget says no.
There's nobody in this committee that wants to cut it. I know of no Republican or Democrat in the House or the Senate who is proposing cutting Social Security benefits. And it's dishonest to keep saying it. It's offensive and dishonest and not realistic. We have a problem in Social Security. We need to address it. You agree we have a problem in Social Security. Make it clear, 1,000%. No Republican is proposing cutting Social Security benefits. Now, the question is, why have you not proposed in your budget any action to protect Social Security?
Senator, I look forward to seeing plans that are very,
different question.
clear.
The
in
question
black and
is,
white,
why
like
have
this
you not
president
proposed
has put
it?
that those
Why have you
that
not
they
made a
will not
proposal?
cut Social Security. This president has put it in black and white. We look forward to seeing a plan that suggests that Social Security is off the table. This president believes the biggest threat to Social Security are those who want to cut it. His budget says no.
You know, I really do find that just offensive in the extreme, which
Well,
is you can't.
You know, he was ramping up there for a while there. I was ready for him to just jump out of his chair and, start throwing things. It reached a fevered pitch there. She came back and basically said the same thing. The most existential threat to Social Security is those who want to cut it. How many times did he have to say nobody here wants to cut it? The real threat to Social Security is the fact that the trust fund is in jeopardy and you're doing nothing to fix it and to help it. And then we get, I find that offensive to the extreme. To be fair, for Mitt Romney, them's fighting words. That's like throwing an F-bomb around. That's like calling his mother a name. I find that offensive to the extreme. But the pair has been grown. And he wraps things up here with Biden's OMB director with a fully engorged pair. Watch.
Can't name anyone who is proposing Social Security benefits. I have said, and I know my colleagues, no one is proposing cutting Social Security benefits for our Social Security recipients. No one is proposing that on our side. And you keep on saying that's the biggest threat. The biggest threat is in 10 years or so, the Social Security Trust Fund runs out of money and benefits get automatically cut by 25%. We don't want that to happen. I'm upset that the president hasn't included any effort to address that shortfall because I want to protect Social Security benefits for all of our recipients.
Now, there's one more addition that he should have added there. All he had to do was say, so therefore, Joe Biden is cutting Social Security. Joe Biden, by not doing anything, is cutting Social Security. And then we would have had our robust Mitt Romney pair. But I'm glad he grew something there, and that was pretty impressive. I thought you should see that, and I thought that you would enjoy seeing it, because here's the thing. It's a really important time to remind you, because you probably have forgotten. Mitt Romney won the election as the senator from Utah as a member of the Republican Party. That's right. Mitt Romney's a Republican. And there he was, using his position as a Republican senator, grilling, shouting at, attacking, accusing a member of the Democrat Biden administration who was lying about fellow Republicans. There he was, Mitt Romney defending Republicans against attacks from Democrats. Refreshing. Fantastic. Oh, wait. In other news, hell has frozen over. More to come on O'Connor Tonight.